Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a deeper analysis of ZBCN and why I believe it's one of the more promising projects in the space right now. So let's break it all down and get into the heart of why ZBCN may be flying under the radar and yet might just be poised for massive growth in the months ahead. Let's start with the numbers and what could happen if ZBCN hits the 10-cent mark. That's roughly a 24x from its current price. In that scenario, its market cap would be hovering around $9 billion. Now let that sink in. A $9 billion market cap sounds big, but in reality, it's still less than 10% of XRP's current market cap. And remember, XRP itself hasn't even fully lived up to its potential in this cycle. Many believe it still has room to grow, especially with potential legal clarity and new utility use cases on the horizon. So when I say that ZBCN hitting 10 cents doesn't feel unrealistic, I truly mean it. That level of return isn't unimaginable. Compare that with XRP or XLM, great projects, no doubt, and I hold them too. But their already massive market caps make similar 20 by 30x returns in the next 6 to 10 months seem pretty far-fetched. Let's be honest, could XRP really do a 24x in less than a year? Highly unlikely unless we see a black swan bullish event, and the same goes for XLM. While both projects have strong communities and solid infrastructure, their growth trajectories are slower simply because of their size. That doesn't mean they're bad investments. It just means they're less likely to explode in the way smaller cap projects can. Now let's bring in Ethereum and Bitcoin for perspective. Say Ethereum hits $10,000. That's less than a 3x from current levels. Bitcoin going to $300,000? Again, not even a 3x. But ZBCN reaching 5 cents? Still a conservative number? That's over a 10x right there. And when you put that side by side with the limited upside on the bigger coins, you start seeing the appeal of ZBCN. Again, I'm not saying it's guaranteed. There are never any guarantees in crypto, but that kind of potential upside gets my attention. I'm not chasing microcaps with zero utility or tokens that pump and dump overnight. That's not my strategy. But I also don't want to park my capital in something so large and slow-moving that it barely outpaces inflation. I need that sweet spot, and for me, ZBCN fits it. Now let's get into the fundamental reasons why I like ZBCN. This isn't just hype or price speculation. There are real building blocks here. ZBCN is positioning itself as a decentralized infrastructure network focused on enabling real-world value flows. That's right, ZBCN isn't just about speculative value. It's building real solutions tied to real-world assets, RWAs. Let's talk about RWAs for a second. RWAs are basically tokenized versions of real tangible things. Think real estate, stocks, bonds, artwork, you name it. These assets are digitized and made tradable on-chain. The idea is to bridge traditional finance and DeFi. It's a massive concept. It's about making historically illiquid markets available to a global audience with transparency and efficiency. Other projects in this space, like Ondo Finance, have shown what's possible with RWAs. We've seen these tokens grow and gain attention, and ZBCN is right in the thick of it. It's building infrastructure that allows for secure and compliant handling of these assets. This could be a game changer as institutional capital flows in and demands tokenized instruments. But that's just one aspect. ZBCN also integrates AI in its financial ecosystem. They're working on what they call AI-based payment finance, or PayFi. Think of it as smarter financial tools that help automate, optimize, and manage complex global payments using artificial intelligence. The numbers back this up. The payments market is worth over $2 trillion today. Global trade and finance, projected to reach $5 trillion by 2028, according to Mordor Intelligence. And the AI market itself is expected to nearly hit $2 trillion by 2030, according to Grandview Research. So when ZBCN is working on tech that sits at the crossroads of all these sectors, you can't ignore that. Payroll is another area they're targeting. Payroll on-chain is a big deal. It removes middlemen, enables instant payments, improves record-keeping, and opens up global hiring. And with Zebec's infrastructure, businesses can manage salaries, benefits, taxes, all directly on-chain. Let's not forget the Zebec cards. These are crypto debit cards that integrate with major blockchain ecosystems and let users spend crypto as easily as fiat. We've seen others in the space attempt this. Remember Algorand's venture into the card space? It generated a lot of buzz. And Bonk, a Solana-based meme coin, has seen wide adoption partially because of spending integration. Zebec cards are following this path, but with deeper utility. What's even cooler? Zebec cards support multiple blockchains: Ethereum, Base, Coinbase's L2, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, showing that they're serious about cross-chain operability. That's not easy to pull off. And here's the cherry on top. Zebec cards are powered by Mastercard. That means global usability, a robust merchant network, and credibility. And the partnerships don't end there. Zebec has historical connections with major names: JP Morgan, Bank of America, Visa, and Mastercard. These aren't random startups. These are the financial titans. Being in the same conversation as these names lends serious legitimacy. Zebec is also part of the Circle Alliance. That's right, Circle, the issuer of USDC, the second largest stablecoin. And according to reports, Circle was one of Zebec's early backers and still allegedly holds a significant amount of ZBCN tokens. That level of involvement from a company that's now publicly listed speaks volumes. Another major backer is Solana Ventures. That makes sense considering ZBCN's historical top 10 utility ranking within the Solana ecosystem. That's not just hype, that's usage, utility, and ecosystem validation. So when we talk fundamentals, ZBCN checks a lot of boxes. It's got product development, real-world applications, big-name partnerships, and a supportive ecosystem. Now let's pivot to timing, because timing in crypto is everything. We may be gearing up for a full-blown altcoin season. Historically, altcoins tend to peak 18 months after a Bitcoin halving. The last halving happened in April 2024. Add 18 months to that, and we land in October 2025. We're not quite there yet, but if history rhymes, that window could be the golden runway. Leading up to that, we've got strong bullish catalysts: the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, rising institutional interest, and growing adoption. There are now over 600 million crypto users globally, according to Crypto.com, double the 300 million we had during the 2021 peak. That's significant. And yes, more users also mean more competition. But here's the interesting part. ZBCN doesn't have that many direct competitors in its sector. You've got XRP and XLM, but those are giants and they operate in a slightly different league. When you zoom in on ZBCN's core sectors, payments, trade finance, and infrastructure, you're mostly comparing it to a few names: XCN, OnyxCoin, XDC, SwiftCoin, and Proton, Prawn. That's 4 real competitors. That's nothing compared to the dozens, sometimes hundreds of competitors in other niches like NFTs, gaming, or Layer 1 chains. So ZBCN has a unique opportunity here. Less noise, more space to shine. Why are there so few competitors? Well, let's be real. The Ripple versus SEC case scared off a lot of developers from even touching the payments or trade finance sectors. It cast a shadow over that whole area for years. It's understandable why devs would choose to build in safer or trendier areas like AI, DeFi, or gaming. But now, that shadow is lifting. Ripple's case is essentially done. The stigma is fading, and ZBCN is already established in that space, giving it a head start over any newcomers who might want to enter. So what does this all mean? It means ZBCN is in a rare spot. It has solid fundamentals, impressive partnerships, growing infrastructure, a strong use case, and, crucially, a real shot at exponential upside during the next altcoin season. I don't think it's going to be the best performing asset in crypto. There will always be lucky moonshots in the microcap realm, but for its balance of risk and reward, ZBCN is a strong contender. If you're looking for a project that combines utility, scalability, and the potential for outsized returns, ZBCN deserves a serious look. Again, none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research and only invest what you can afford to lose. But from where I'm standing, the ZBCN narrative is building momentum, and that's something I want a piece of. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts on ZBCN. Do you think it can 10x or even 24x this cycle? Or do you see better plays elsewhere? Let's talk about it. Catch you in the next one.